Have you ever looked at someone you truly love and wondered, how can we care so much about each other, yet still misunderstand each other so often? Many people believe that if love is real, understanding should come naturally. But that belief has quietly damaged countless relationships. The truth is, some of the deepest misunderstandings happen not because love is missing, but because love brings two completely different human beings together. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why even healthy, loving couples misunderstand each other, the hidden psychological reasons behind it, and how understanding these patterns can make your relationships stronger instead of weaker. Before we begin, if you enjoy thoughtful videos about psychology, relationships, and personal growth, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Now, let's begin. Why even people who love each other misunderstand one another. One of the most surprising truths about relationships is that love does not automatically prevent misunderstandings. Many people assume that if two people truly care for each other, they should naturally understand one another. When confusion or conflict appears, they may begin to wonder whether the love is real or whether the relationship is failing. However, this belief is not accurate. Even people who deeply love each other can misunderstand one another. In fact, misunderstandings often happen in close relationships precisely because the emotional connection is so important. Love creates closeness, trust, affection, and commitment, but it does not make two people think exactly alike. Every person remains an individual with their own personality, experiences, emotions, habits, expectations, and communication style. When two individuals come together in a relationship, they bring two different inner worlds with them. Those differences do not disappear simply because love exists. Understanding this is important because it removes unnecessary fear. A misunderstanding does not automatically mean that two people do not love each other. More often, it means that two caring people are trying to connect while seeing the same situation from different perspectives. Love does not mean identical thinking. Two people can love each other sincerely and still think very differently. One person may express love through words, while the other expresses love through actions. One may enjoy talking through problems immediately, while the other needs time to think before speaking. One may value frequent communication, while the other may feel comfortable with more personal space. Neither person is necessarily wrong. They are simply different. Problems begin when each person assumes that the other should naturally understand their way of thinking. For example, a wife may feel loved when her husband spends quality time with her and asks about her day. Her husband may feel that he is showing love by working hard, providing for the family, and handling responsibilities. Both are expressing love, but because their expressions are different, one or both may feel unappreciated. This is a common source of misunderstanding. People often judge love by the way they personally experience it, forgetting that their partner may express it in another way. Familiarity can create assumptions. In close relationships, people often become very familiar with each other. This familiarity can be comforting, but it can also create assumptions. After spending a long time together, people may begin to believe that they already know what the other person is thinking, feeling, or intending. Instead of asking questions, they assume they understand. Instead of clarifying, they interpret. Instead of listening carefully, they respond based on what they expect to hear. For instance, a husband may assume that his wife is upset because she is quiet, when she is actually tired. A wife may assume that her husband is avoiding her because he is distracted, when he is actually worried about work. Because they believe they already know the reason, they may react before checking the truth. Ironically, The closer people become, the more likely they are to assume understanding. This is why misunderstandings can happen even in long-term marriages and strong relationships. Emotional closeness makes reactions stronger. When someone we love says or does something that hurts us, the emotional impact is often stronger than if the same thing came from a stranger. We care deeply about the relationship, so our emotions become more sensitive. A brief comment from a stranger may be easy to ignore. The same comment from a loved one may feel painful, disappointing, or confusing. This does not mean the loved one intended harm. It means the relationship matters deeply, so the emotional response is stronger. For example, if a close partner forgets an important date, the other person may feel hurt because they expected to be remembered. The forgotten date may not have been intentional, but the emotional meaning attached to it can create misunderstanding and disappointment. In loving relationships, small actions can carry large emotional weight because people attach meaning to them. People communicate differently. One of the biggest reasons loving people misunderstand each other is that they communicate differently. Some people are direct and clear. Others are indirect and subtle. Some express emotions openly. Others keep emotions private. Some prefer long conversations. Others prefer brief communication. These differences are normal, but they can easily create confusion. For example, one partner may say exactly what they mean. The other partner may expect their feelings to be understood without saying them directly. When the unspoken expectation is not recognized, both people may feel frustrated. One feels unheard, while the other feels blamed for not knowing what was never clearly expressed. Different communication styles do not mean the relationship is unhealthy. They simply mean that both people need to learn how the other person communicates. Past experiences influence present reactions. Every person carries past experiences into current relationships. Childhood experiences, family patterns, previous relationships, disappointments, and emotional wounds all shape how people interpret situations. A person who has experienced rejection may become sensitive to delayed responses. A person who grew up in a home with constant criticism may become defensive when receiving feedback. A person who has experienced betrayal may become suspicious more easily. These reactions may not be caused by the current partner alone. They may be connected to older emotional experiences that are still influencing the present. This is why two people can experience the same situation very differently. One sees a simple comment. The other feels deeply hurt by it. The difference is often connected to personal history. Expectations are often unspoken. In many relationships, people have expectations that they never clearly express. They may expect affection, attention, support, appreciation, honesty, or communication in a certain way. When those expectations are not met, they feel disappointed. The problem is that the other person may not even know the expectation existed. For example, one partner may expect a goodnight message every evening because it makes them feel cared for. The other partner may not realize that this small action is emotionally important. When the message is not sent, one person feels hurt, while the other is unaware that anything is wrong. Many misunderstandings are created not by spoken conflict, but by unspoken expectations. Stress changes how people communicate. Even loving people do not communicate perfectly when they are stressed, tired, worried, or overwhelmed. Stress can make people less patient, less attentive, and more emotionally reactive. A partner who is dealing with work pressure may become quiet. Another who is exhausted may respond briefly. Someone who is worried about finances may seem distracted. These behaviors may be interpreted as lack of love or lack of interest, even when the real cause is stress. Without open communication, stress can create unnecessary misunderstandings between people who genuinely care for each other. Love does not create mind reading. One of the most unrealistic expectations in relationships is the belief that love should automatically create perfect understanding. People sometimes think, if you really loved me, you would know what I need, or you should know why I am upset without me explaining it. This expectation is unfair because love does not give anyone the ability to read another person's mind. Even the closest partners still need to communicate clearly. Healthy relationships are not built on guessing. They are built on honest conversations, patient listening, and willingness to explain feelings and needs. Misunderstandings can happen despite good intentions. Many misunderstandings happen even when both people have good intentions. One person may be trying to help, encourage, protect, or solve a problem. The other person may interpret the same action as criticism, control, pressure, or lack of support. For example, a partner may offer advice because they want to help. The other partner may feel that their feelings are being dismissed. The intention was care, but the interpretation was hurt. This is why intention and impact are both important. A person may not intend to hurt someone, but the other person may still feel hurt. Resolving the misunderstanding requires understanding both sides. What this means for healthy relationships. The strongest relationships are not the ones where misunderstandings never happen. They are the ones where both people are willing to slow down, ask questions, listen carefully, and understand each other's perspective. When misunderstandings happen, healthy couples do not immediately assume the worst about each other. Instead, they become curious. They ask, "What did you mean by that? Can you help me understand what you were feeling, and how did you interpret what I said?" This approach creates connection instead of division. It turns conflict into an opportunity for deeper understanding. Ultimately, even people who love each other misunderstand one another because love joins two different human beings together. Those differences are natural. The goal of a healthy relationship is not to eliminate every misunderstanding, but to learn how to respond to misunderstandings with patience, honesty, empathy, and a willingness to understand before reacting. When two people choose understanding over assumption, their relationship can become stronger, wiser, and more emotionally secure after each misunderstanding is resolved. If this video helped you see relationships in a new way, let us know in the comments. What do you think causes the biggest misunderstandings in relationships? Your thoughts and experiences may help someone else who is watching this video. If you found this valuable, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone you care about. You never know who might need this message today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.